Hello everyone, I am doing a tag today called the Rapid Fire Book Tag. I found this by Gavin at Genre Books, who normally tags me quite a bit, but I've been skipping a few lately. He did not tag me for this one, but I was sitting there watching his video and said, I think this is one I like. I can do this real good. There are 25 prompts. Prompt number 1. Ebook or physical book? Now this is going to reveal my hypocrisy just a little bit. Of course I want the physical books. Books on me. Books. I want the books. But I did publish a short story, 99 cents, ebook only. What are you going to do? I'll put a link in the description. Only one person has read it, my sister. Prompt number 2, paperback or hardback? I have, judging by my inventory, it's mostly paperbacks, and I think I really like trade paperbacks more so than a regular paperback, but what are you going to do? Hardbacks are just, I don't know, they're kind of difficult to handle in the damn sleeve and whatever. I'd prefer a paperback. Number 3. Online or in-store book shopping? Oh, in-store. I want to touch them. I want to touch them and feel them and smell them. That's a used book one. We'll get to that in a minute. But the thing is, what it used to be, I used to always go into Barnes & Noble or a used bookstore looking for whatever it is that I wanted. And sometimes, especially on booktube, somebody suggests something and it's just not in the stores. So Amazon. But I do prefer going to the store and getting out of the house, by the way. Number 4, trilogies or series? I don't think I have a concern either way. I mean, just so long as it's entertaining, really. I think there's another question about it down here concerning that, and we'll get to that one. Number 5, heroes or villains? Heroes or villains? Disney, I don't know if they have it on Disney Plus or not, but they used to have this special about an ode to the villain, where the mirror on the wall narrates, how interesting villains are and that they push the narrative, and without the villains, the heroes just sit around and do nothing or work out or whatever. They don't have anything to do until the villain gets in there and does something. So that's why we find bad people interesting, I guess, right? So, but still, yeah, I might think Darth Vader is my favorite Star Wars character, but no, let's go the other way. The heroes are the thing. We want to be the heroes. I don't want to be the villain. I want to read about the heroes and cheer for them. I want to cheer for heroes. Number 6, a book you want everyone to read. I'm going to throw a couple at you, actually, because they are related. This is The Physics of Star Trek. This is written by Lawrence Cross. Even though he had a bit of a social falling out, he's still active on YouTube and everything. And this is layman's term science and doing it through Star Trek. And this is just this ain't even a couple hundred pages. This is a good, quick read. Get a little bit of science education in your life, and related to that is a very old book, The Science and Science Fiction. This is probably one of the best books I've ever read, ever. I find it interesting, to say the least. I cannot harp on this book enough. Happily, Fred at Read by Fred saw me waving this around. He's getting his hands on it. I can't wait to see what he's going to think about it. But some layman's terms, science education for you. Number 7, recommend an underrated book. Star Wars. This is the novelization of Revenge of the Sith. This is written by Matthew Stover. And I'm kind of surprised at myself that I didn't go diving into the whatever else he's written, because this is written so well. The prose and ideas and depth of character that he expresses here is one of the best things I have ever read. Of course, I did see the movie first. This came out. I wasn't expecting much because of the novelizations, some of them are really good, and some of them are just sort of there. A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, very good written books. Empire Strikes Back, even though everyone thinks that's the best Star Wars movie, the novel was just kind of there. He really gets into their heads in this. It's so good. Whether you're a Star Wars fan or not, I think this is good for you. Though I guess maybe you got to be kind of a science fiction person, regardless. The last book you finished was, I'm doing a video series on these. It comes idea-wise from this book, The Third Millennium, and this is by Brian Stapleford. This is the second in a 6-book series I am currently reading. I'm on the third book, Inherit the Earth. Life extension and people doing bio things and corporations and law enforcement and secretive groups trying to get control of things and really control the world, even though I guess what I really got out of it was a clash of ethics. Our ethics are the best ethics. Not your ethics, my ethics. And a lot of headbutting just over that. Life extension and immortality. So that was number 8. So the prompt number 9, the last book you bought. Oh, I grabbed this out of a Second and Charles used bookstore. This is The Difference Engine by William Gibson and Bruce Sterling. And this is one of those things it's not what I'm going to read after I'm done with the current series I'm on, but it's going to be pushed towards the front of the TBR. In London, 1855, the great steam-driven Babbage engines power the Industrial Revolution. The age of the computer is already here, and the industrial radicals and the scientists are its rulers. But there's still treachery and intrigue at the heart of government, and Sybil Gerard, fallen woman, Edward Mallory, paleontologist, and Lady Ada Byron, compulsive gambler and mathematical genius, are unwittingly caught up in a conspiracy that could change the world. This is a classic, and I can't wait to dig into this business. Computer technology in the late 1800s. Number 9, number 10. Weirdest thing you used as a bookmark. You ready for this? Can you tell what that is? I'm gonna put it in a book so you can look at it. That's a pair of demon hands. So it looks like something's trying to crawl out of your book. I think that's cool. I don't use it that often because I asked for 2 of them. I got these as a birthday present. The only issue, you see a couple broken off ones there. I think these should have been made of rubber instead of this plastic and this piece of wood, because it's top heavy, so it kept dropping out of the book, and I dropped it on the floor and broke a couple of the claws off, and I just haven't glued them back together. So I don't know if I might try to break this off and it needs more weight back here to stay in the book. Otherwise, look at it. Trying to crawl out of your book. That's awesome. That was number 10. Number 11, used books, yes or no? Are you kidding? Of course. Look. This is Black Sunrise. We'll talk about that in a minute. Nothing smells like a good used book. I don't like the term book sniffer because that sounds perverted. Book smeller. Oh, the aroma. Oh, I love a good used bookstore, and I got some nice ones around here. Where did I go? Keep losing my place. Number 12, top 3 favorite genres. Science fiction. I am more of a science fiction person than anything. But some of my favorite books have been fantasy books, so science fiction and fantasy. If I was forced to go with the third, I toss it up between, there's some really good cyberpunk I like, or post-cyberpunk, where you get rid of some of the grimy, dirty stuff, and it's just the technology of man-machine interfaces, or science reading. I have this is all science books up here. Uh, 13, borrow or buy. I don't know. I think I maybe borrowed books once in my life, and they were some role playing games. Somebody, he's like, yeah, take a look at these, and if you like them, you can buy them. Okay. And I read through them, and I gave them back, and he seemed kind of pissed about it. So anyway, I want to own the stuff, so I buy it. Prompt number 14, character or plot. I assume really it's character if you're choosing one or the other. Good characters keep you interested regardless of what they're dealing with. But at the same time, you can have characters that are okay, but there's like a lot of science fiction, like Rama Revealed or 2001: A Space Odyssey. Rama Revealed, Rama Rendezvous with Rama is what I meant, and 2001: A Space Odyssey. Even one of my favorites of all time, Ringworld. The characters are good enough, not hyper amazing, but they're good enough, and it's the situation they're dealing with in science fiction that's great, from megastructures and whatnot. It's just that, I don't know, if you have a nothing character that you can't get into, I guess the plot really doesn't matter. It's about people. Number 15, long or short books. I don't care so long as it's interesting. There's a part of me that says I normally prefer shorter books, 300 give or take, but at the same time, I read Perdido Street Station. It's way over there. I can't up. Perdido Street Station by Mieville and China Mieville, and for something just under 900 pages. Oh, it went so fast, and I wanted to dig into it. That was a great written book. I really liked it. So whichever. 16 though, long or short chapter. Short. No matter what, you can always stop where you need to and put a bookmark in, and it doesn't matter where it breaks. But I would rather not break up the idea and have to pick it up and go, oh yeah, this is what was going on. If there's a page break or a short chapter, I'm good. I prefer the shorter chapters. Number 17, name the first 3 books you can think of. So when I was obviously watching a video and hit the question, I had to stop for a second. And these are my level up books, and these are the ones that came to mind. So I think I was 11 when I got handed the novelization to A New Hope, and this is the original one. Look at this is all messed up, but I kept it. I don't want to let it go. I have a little bit of a hoarder in me. I have, just for sake of handling it sometimes, bought a newer version. And so this epic little book, just Star Wars, but it's so good. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and naturally they became heroes. It just reads so good. And when things blow up, superheated bits and pieces get blown across the cosmos. It's just written so good. It's so much fun. This turned me into a reader, reading my favorite thing as a young lad. My next level up came, I guess I was 18. So I was 11, yeah. So I was 18. I did a couple part-time college semesters, but I didn't stay in. And the short story I mentioned, I forgot to give the title to it. It's called The Follower by Monty Atkins Jr. So I wrote that for a class in the 80s and revised it and published it. But in the 80s version, it got read out to the class by the teacher. And she put on there, reminded me of The City by Ray Bradbury. And I don't know what the hell that was. Well, here it is in The Illustrated Man, and it's actually my favorite story in there, but I recommend this for everybody. And I could see why, no spoilers for my own story, why it reminded her of The City. And well into my 30s, this was my most recent biggest level up, and that was Lord Foul's Bane, Stephen R. Donaldson. I don't recommend it for everybody. It's not for everybody. But oh damn, it's I like to describe it as an opera in the form of a book, and you don't even have to be an opera fan to appreciate that. I understand why people call it dark fantasy. I guess if it's darker than Lord of the Rings, that makes it dark fantasy. It's just the happenings throughout this 10 book series are things you will not forget and you will take with you forever. This is the top of the heap for me in the first book in my favorite fantasy series of all time. Number 18, books that make you laugh or cry. The easy answer would have been Hitchhiker's Guide, right? I picked I, Lucifer by Glenn Duncan. This is the devil himself telling you his side of the story, and it just so happens this dude is funny. He's got, I think it's a month. An archangel approaches him and says, "We're going to put you in a human body, and you got a month because the end times are coming, and He wants you back. He loves you." And the devil himself ain't having nothing to do with it, but he tells his side, and that's good reading. Glenn Duncan. So I again, another author I never pursued anything else. This is so good. I'm a little surprising at myself. As far as crying goes, I only have one thing I specifically remember shedding tears about, and that was a Dungeons and Dragons webcomic called Order of the Stick, and maybe I can link it down below, but the only little bit of context I give you is that the lead guy, he's actually dead, and he's waiting for his friends to resurrect him. And in the meantime, he goes up to his heaven and meets some family members, and there's a tearful moment in there. Oh, it's so good. Number 19, Our World or Fictional Worlds? Fictional. I mean, I've read, so there's some good things that take place in our world or start in our world, Portal Fantasy, but no, just take me out of this place. I want something new. I thoroughly enjoy the exploration, especially when there's a map. Give me the exploration of a new place. 20, audiobooks, yes or no? I do not. I've only ever heard one audiobook, and that was Death Stalkers. I don't know who wrote that. And the only reason I heard that was because I was training as a truck driver, and I had to go live with another truck driver for about 5 or 6 weeks, and he listened to audiobooks, but he only played the one, and it was Death Stalkers. It was an okay experience. I don't know how I think my mind would wander too much just trying to listen if I get busy with something else, so I don't do audiobooks at all. 21, do you ever judge a book by its cover? Of course. Of course I do. How do you not? Look at this. So so I made a short, got some good views on this one. This is Heavenbreaker by Sarah Wolf. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this beautiful friggin' book. But it tricked me. I did not finish this in under 75 pages. This reads like it was supposed to be some kind of political assassin, something space, sounding almost like some kind of not quite steampunk something, and I was very interested in reading this blurb. I said, "Oh, this is gonna be good." No. Giant robots jousting in space, and it falls into that YA cliche of there's supposed to be this lethal competition, and we're going to use the kids. That's got to stop, man. That's so. Ugh. And in a series I'm reading, Titan Hoppers, I like it. The third book does that, and it doesn't fit in here at all. So I got tricked with when judge this one by its cover. You got me. Marketing works. And then there's this. Look at this beautiful thing. Quite the opposite. I read this a long time ago, and I'm going to reread it this year because I forgot like 90% of it, and I have the other 2 books. Look at it. This is one of the best covers ever put on a book. Oh God, what's his name? I'm brain farting. Michael Whelan. Look at that. That's beautiful. That is incredible and cool as hell. A little quick trivia I like to throw out there. I always thought that was the lead hero in the book, and it's not. This is this other guy who sacrifices his wife for power. So that's the bad guy right there. So 22 book to movie or book to TV adaptations. A matter of fact, I think Gavin said this in his video. It's just that most of the time, regardless if the TV adaptation is good and a movie adaptation is good, movies just get better production quality. And so I tend to prefer that. That's an easy one. 23. A movie or TV adaptation you preferred more than the book, and I'm going to commit some blasphemy in part. I don't have it anymore. I unhauled it, gave it to used bookstore. Philip K. Dick, Do Androids Dream Electric Sheep? As a young child in the 80s, I watched Blade Runner. Loved that movie so much. And then throughout the rest of the 80s and 90s, I had seen the movie many times. Loved them in all its different versions. I finally settled upon the final cut in recent years. That's the best version, but I love the movie. So the century turned over, and I said, you know what? I always wanted to read what that's based off. And I bought it, and boy, did the book suck to high heaven. I have no idea how anybody ever enjoyed it at all. There's some huge, long-winded portion of that book. Instead of off hunting replicants, instead of talking about what makes someone human, what makes replicants human, are they human, are they sentient, are they conscious, do they have feelings, should we care? How much is this sheep? Well, I don't know, that'll run you. Pretty good looking sheep, just sheep cost. Just haggling over a sheep, page after page after page. What the is this? This is one of the stupidest books I ever read. I read the whole thing. One of the stupidest books I ever read. Do Android Dream Electric Sheep? 24 series or standalones. I guess I don't have a preference, but looking around the 1,100 or so books I currently own, most of it is series. Most books are series that you go into a bookstore and look after. Author takes his time, builds a world, and wants to play in it, so they keep going. I've read, Lord Fowl's Bane, start of a 10-book series, which I loved. Carol Berg's Song of the Beast, which only this past year I've seen other people reading it, booktubers reading it and enjoying it, and for good reason. It's an amazing single book read. But then, I binge read Dresden Files, 17 books that were all really good. So I don't know. There's it just whatever catches you, man, go for it. 25, tag others. I'm gonna tag Kelly at books I'm not reading. She's good for doing tags, so I'm gonna tag her. And Roy and his wife at Roy Reads Anything. I don't think there is more charming a couple of people to watch do a video than Roy and his wife at Roy Reads Anything. So I'm going to throw this one at them. That is it. I'm reading a book that is not currently in hand and do a video of that in a few days anyway. That's it. Great tag, fun tag. I like this one. Hope you like it too. Hope you do it too. I want to see people do it. I do not know who invented it. I looked at a few videos and nobody named off. This has been around for years, this tag, and I didn't see anyone name, this was invented by. So if you invented it, come claim it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.